Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Andy Rosser, and today I'm going to show you some stretches that I think are particularly helpful for cyclists. We're going to use a couple different tools today. One is a foam roll, and this is a 3-foot long, 6-inch diameter roll that is made out of pretty hard density foam here. It's not easy to squeeze this and make a dent in it. Probably find something like this in your gym. If not, you can get them through some different suppliers. Can always help you locate some of those if you're having trouble. Second thing we're going to use is a piece of climbing webbing. I got this at a local store, tied a knot into the end of it so I can put my foot through it. This is about 8 feet long, that's what I started with. Alright, so we're going to go through some stretches. Have fun. Alright, so we're going to start into some of the foam rolling. First one's the upper back. I've got my arms crossed so I can bring the scapula around, get some really good access into those rhomboids and some of those muscles that run right up along the spine. Got pretty equal pressure on both sides right in the middle. And then I'm going to roll a little bit to the side, press that arm towards the up overhead and roll on the lats. A little bit up onto the scapula too. It's pretty tender in that area, so be careful. Don't push too hard. Next up is the hips. So I like getting into this area. This is pretty tight spot for me, as it is for most people. Nice and slow through there. Jeez, look at me, I'm concentrating there, huh? That must really hurt. I think I'm breaking a sweat actually. That's going to hit a couple of the gluteal muscles, piriformis, and really get a nice stretch through there. Next up is hamstrings. If you're just getting used to it, use 2 legs here. You get started, get a sense of what that feels like. Basically just kind of pulling yourself, dragging your legs up and over the foam roller. And if you want to turn up the heat a little bit, once you get used to that, I'm going to have you cross your one leg over top of the other. Bring that knee and foot over. Roll up and down there. That puts all your body weight on one leg instead of both of them. So that's going to turn up the heat a little bit on it. Rolling basically from the sit bones down to just above the knee. Turn right on the side. This one's a little bit more complicated. Working on the IT band. Going from just above the knee all the way up to the hip bone. Rolling right along the side there. Cyclists, runners, this is a very tight spot. Particularly tight for people who do a lot of sitting as well. So even if you're not doing sports, those are some areas that can get really tight. Next spot's the lower leg, working on the calf, some of the deeper muscles in there. All the muscles that flex your toes down, those are hidden up underneath those bigger muscles in there. They can get pretty painful. If you're cycling, you're putting pressure down on those muscles almost through the whole pedal stroke. So same thing we did with the hamstrings. You can cross that leg up and over, distribute the weight right onto that one leg, rolling up and down there. Nice, slow, steady pace. You'll feel some good trigger points in there. And that is foam roll. Next up, we're going to work on some isolated stretching, bringing the knee up, right up to the armpit on the same side. Just stretching out the glutes. As I'm lifting up, I'm holding for 2 seconds, letting that straighten all the way back out. Next, what I'm doing is stretching across there. This is the different part of the glute. Trying not to twist the low back too much, just stretching through the hip there. Pull over again and hold for 2 seconds. Now I'm pulling up and across to the opposite shoulder. So that knee should come up and across, getting a little bit over the midline of the body, pulling up there. You feel that in a different place too. So really with the full range of motion of the hip, we're trying to get some of those different spots that usually don't get stretched. And now we're going to stretch the quadriceps, stretch back and hold there 2 seconds, and bring that back up. You feel this stretching through the whole belly of that muscle there. Next few stretches are going to use the strap. First one's the part of the hamstring that's right behind the knee. Straightening that leg out, you'll feel it burning right back in there a little bit. Pressure on the strap I'm using is not real heavy. I'm not trying to muscle it up. I'm just using it to guide that in range of motion there. Most of the movement's coming through my hip muscles as I pull my leg up, and then I'm just using that strap just to get a little bit of that end pull there, and that's where I'm holding for 2 seconds. Next up, I'm going to loop around so that I'm able to support on the outside, stretching the adductors, which are on the inside of the thigh, bringing that up, hold for 2 seconds, and back down. It's a good full range of motion, getting that out there, feeling that stretch in there. And then you're going to loop that strap around the opposite direction and bring that leg over the midline, stretching up and across there. Same thing, I'm trying not to stretch my low back too much. I'm just trying to get a stretch through some of the hip muscles. This in particular is stretching the muscle that contracts the IT band. So this is a nice one to work on. Next up, last one we're going to work on today is the calf. So we're going to take that strap, hook it around the bottom part or the top part of the foot, pull back, hold, pull back, hold 2 seconds. Good. And same thing, I'm contracting the muscle on the top of the leg, letting it off, contract up, just let that strap just guide the movement up, not much more than that. And that's stretching with the strap.